Hello, hello. I'm literally just doing the sound check. All right. All right, Max Capacity Comedy. How we doing tonight, guys? Yeah.
Little things upset me. Saw an old lady cross the street. Took her 2.5 minutes. That's a whole Beatles song. Like that's. It took John Lennon less time to sing a song about holding hands than for a woman to cross 2 lanes of traffic. Like it was. I don't know, man. I used to want to be like successful. Like that was very generic. Now, all that means is that I count the amount of people that approach me and just assume I like the Smiths. That's all that means. I used to want to dress nice. I used to wear suits that would look like Don Draper. And somehow I went from that to looking like my main form of transportation is a skateboard. And I am still surprised when there's no mustard stains on my pants. Like, dude, I had to check this morning.
I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I wrestled in college. Did anyone else make mistakes when they were 18? And again when they were 19, 20, 21. I wrestled for 4 years in college. I wrestled 125 pounds all 4 years. When I got done, I ate 1 sandwich. Now I look like this. Yeah, people ask me sometimes, like, hey, what'd you get out of wrestling at college? You get stuff out of it, make your life better? It's like, I got this neck. I got whatever is happening to my neck right now. I mean that medically. This isn't funny. I just say this on stage until I find a doctor. He's gonna tell me. I read it's a very rare thing that's happening to your neck right now, where your own body is trying to strangle your head. Like you know when you hear guys walking down the street, fellas talking, and they're like, "Yo, her ass will not quit." I know what they're talking about. Because that lady's ass won't quit, and neither will this neck. Doesn't stop. I was at a show once, and this lady came up to me. She wasn't at the show, she was just walking down the street. And she tapped me on the chest. She was like, "Just so you know, you've got Republican shoulders." And she walked away. And I don't know what she meant by that. I know exactly what that lady meant by that.
Let's just say that I was looking up used mahogany pool tables. And let's say that I was looking them up on Pornhub, right? Because you start your search there. That's where you start. And I happen upon a young red bone. Do you guys know what that means? A young light-skinned black woman named Jasmine Cashmere. And Jasmine appeared to have made 2 new friends. There wasn't a lot of deep talk about families and such going on. And both of these new friends had BBCs. Do we know? We know it's not the network. Nate Jones, for the record, Nate Jones is clapping the loudest for BBCs. So, you two.
No, why are you doxing me like this?
No, I just love your excitement. So this woman's name is Jasmine Cashmere. I'll tell you how I know her name in a moment. But she's got one of the BBCs in her ass. But we don't worry about ass guy because he's focused. He's doing what he came to do, right? She's got the other BBC in her mouth. And this is the guy that concerns us because he's a bashful dominant, but he's doing all this extra shit, little bitch slaps, on her face, And then he does the standard dick tap. He's really annoying, and he's he chokes, little pussy chokes, but he doesn't even really block off air while the dick is in her throat. You know what I mean? He's not really trying to scare her. Jasmine is 118% sucking this dick. It's changing the shape of her throat, eyes closed. Nothing he does is ruining it. But finally, he fucks up, right? He looks down at Jasmine and he's like, beg for this dick. Right? Jasmine, like pulls the dick out of her throat, right? And opens her eyes, and she's like, nigga, I don't beg for no dick. I got one in my ass and one in my mouth. Which is amazing, right? Like, okay, she says nigga, right? So that means I'm serious. Like, everybody listens when she says nigga. And then I don't beg for no dick. It's like, are you an idiot? Do you see what's happening? And I got one in my ass and one in my mouth. It's like, I'm trying to make my money, and you're fucking with my money. But don't worry, they make up, right? The guys shoot, like they shoot all over Jasmine's tongue, right? And she catches it, and then she drools it all over her breast while being like, Jasmine Cashmere, baby. And that's how I know her name, because the bitch signs her fucking work.
I'm from Arizona. And in answer to the question almost certainly forming in your minds, yes. Everyone in Arizona looks just like this. Everyone in Arizona looks like Lenny Kravitz, community college poetry professor. I'm actually really glad to hear your enthusiastic response to poetry, because what I would like to do on our time together, I understand the sets are 25 minutes, what I'd like to do on our time together is read some of my poetry to you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, anyway, I'm sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. This is very frightfully unprofessional. There's no poetry on here. This is just my resume. My resume. It's frightfully out of date. Quick poll. If there are any hiring managers in the audience, should I put this in the body of the email? Or should I attach it as a PDF? Because if I put it in the body of the email, it will look as though I've had long periods of time during which I was unemployed, but I assure you, it's just the formatting going wonky from putting it in the body of the email. I'd like to apologize again, most ungracious, to apologize twice within 120 seconds, but you might be thinking to yourself, wow, this is a really cool kind of punk rock thing. We're at a stand-up show in an apartment. It's awesome. It's the first snow of the season. It's a beautiful day and night in the city, and all of you have been so kind to come to this event, and I am truly thrilled to be here with you. And you might be thinking, wow, everyone else has been really great, and now prop comedy? Which is, of course, as you know, the lowest form of comedy. Now, of course, you're a sophisticated comedy audience. You found your way to this apartment. You would know, of course, the prop comedy would require at least 2 props. There we go. This has poetry on it. So, the poetry that I like, I used to write really long-winded poetry, and then I would be sent to the principal's office. Like, your feelings are too long-winded. Explain that to an evangelical Christian in the morning. So, what I have instead, I have a haiku, 17-syllable Japanese poetic form, traditionally about mountains, lakes, rivers, and streams. Any of you have seen the film, the Miyazaki Studio Ghibli film, Spirited Away? Presumably, of course. Or else you would not have been admitted to this elegant nightclub. That was presumably the question at the door. Spirited Away? Welcome. Welcome. So, in the animist tradition, the idea basically is that every object has a soul or spirit within it. 17 syllables, 575. But I took it upon myself to write modern haiku. Here's an example of a modern haiku. Tristan, turn down the music! One of our peers wants to express himself! In that scenario, you're at a party. Ostensibly to have a good time. Because, like life on planet Earth is miserable. It's awful here. It's cold and uncaring. And you can't do enough for the people that you care about. And you can't even begin to approach to help the people that you don't know that you would like to help. And it sucks. So it's like, well, I've had a long day of work. I'm going to go to this party. Maybe I'll meet some nice people. Maybe I'll have a good time. And I'll chat with someone. Get in a good riff or two. But you can't because the music is too fucking loud. So Tristan, who's obviously in charge of it, turns it to, dude, turn it down. Jackson's had an apostrophe. I'm sorry, Epiphany. I'm quoting Hook. Bob Hoskins in Hook. I've just had an apostrophe. epiphany. So it's Dustin Hoffman and Bob Hoskins talking about suicide in a Disney film based on Peter Pan. Great cinema. Yes, death is the only great adventure. I think of it every morning when I wake up. So, if you have a good party, it goes well, right? You meet some nice people. Things are going reasonably well, like this evening. It's going pretty well. You think to yourself, build a relationship. This haiku's for you. Don't put your finger in that electric socket. Keep it in my butt.
I moved to Chicago a few years ago, and I was coming home from my first show in Philly, and I was on the phone with my mom. She was like, Elizabeth, we are just so gosh darn over the moon excited that we're gonna see our baby girl do stand up for the first time. We can't wait. I said, oh, you are gonna come. I wasn't aware. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll do a clean set. It'll be great. Elizabeth, what? What's a clean set? What is that? What are you trying to say? I said, oh, it's just jokes that you can do for like your parents, or like a room of cloistered nuns, or just like a small group of Republican toddlers. But yeah, it'll be fine. She's like, how are you representing the family out there, Elizabeth? I'm worried. And she said, you know what? Just give me a little snip. Just give me a little snippet, and we'll be fine. Come on, we're adult friends. Remember Margarita Mondays? Come on. I said, all right, Mom. I'm like, so I'm a bartender in Chicago, and I'm looking over at my fellow barkeep, and he's muddling mint and lime. And I just look at him, and I say, ugh, mojitos, they're the worst. They're delicious. Everybody knows that. They're a fucking pain in the ass to make, right? So he's muddling, and he's like, yeah, the thing is, I make them so good that everybody just keeps ordering them, And I was like, yeah, that's how I feel about blowjobs. So I'm here to make you guys think. Just get that off right off the bat. So my mom was pretty clear. She surprised me. She said, that's a good one. and then she's like, but you know what? Let's just not tell your father about that one, okay? Let's keep that between us girls. So she immediately, though, to my, of course, that she just went into this nervous spiral, right? She was, no, I'm thinking about it, and I just don't know how. Like, you're going bar to bar to bar every night in Chicago. I don't know anybody there, and you're just talking about your talents about blowjobs. And I just wonder, like, who's walking you home? Do you have enough money to Uber? Should I send you some money? And I said, Mom, just relax, okay? No one is gonna rape me in an alley because I did a joke about a blowjob. It's just not gonna happen. Oh, all right, smarty pants. Well, I'll just be sitting by the phone every night to see if I'm right. It's like, well, that's really dark, Mom. The next day I get a phone call from my dad, and he's like, Elizabeth, we need to talk. What is this I hear about you telling your mother there are alleys in Chicago? Not okay. Not okay.
I hate buying condoms. I hate that shit. Anybody really hate condoms? I'm over that shit. I hate it. Yeah. I hate it because I hate using them. That's for squares. But I hate buying them even more. That's the worst part. But there was a part where there was a time I did like buying condoms. When you're like 15, 16, 17, into your early 20s, those are the prime times to buy condoms, because you want people to see you buying condoms. So you go into a CVS or a Rite Aid or a bus stop or any place, you want people to see you buying condoms. It's a fucking spectacle. You walk up and you're just like, yeah, that's right. You place that fucking box of Trojans on top of your Rockstar energy drink, and you're just like, it's like a crown you're putting on top of it, and like, yeah, that's right, condoms, that's right. Oh yeah, Rockstar? Yeah, because I'm going to be up all night. Fucking something. You fucking look at it, that's right. Everyone make eye contact with me. You look around, you're making sure people are seeing you. But that's like 15, 16, 17, 18, early 20s. Those are the prime times to buy condoms. But when you're in your mid-30s, buying condoms takes on a whole different thing. It's a way different experience. I walk up and just like, I have the condoms and I place them on top of my Rockstar energy drink. Old habits will die hard, never. I'm just like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm buying condoms. That's right. no one trusts me. That's exactly it. No one will have unprotected sex with me, like, at all. Yes, rock star, I'm gonna be up all night thinking about my life. That's right. Up all night. Yeah. That's where I'm at right now. It's fucking dumb. The worst part is, though, when you go to buy condoms, you get, like, condom banter from, like, the fucking clerks. Every time. I try to make them feel uncomfortable as much as they're trying to make. Like, they're not trying. They're just like, oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, ho. She's gonna be in trouble. Or he. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know your life. And when they say that, I'm just like, man, I don't know if that dog's a boy or a girl. Just like, yes, that's a rock star energy drink. I'm gonna be up all night fucking that dog. But the worst is, like, I think one of the funniest things is, like, buying condoms at, like, different times in the day mean totally different things to clerks. Like, if you buy condoms at 3 o'clock in the morning, they are super pumped to see you. It's pretty fucking great. I was with a lady at my house, and we decided, like, we were gonna fuck around, so I went to go get condoms. And I went to a CVS, and when I walked in, the guy was like, hey man, what's up? How you doing? How can I help you? I'm like, and this is 3 o'clock in the morning. He should not, he was drinking way too much Rockstar energy drink. And I was like, oh, I just need to go get condoms. He goes, oh, my man! Oh! Getting it in! Getting it in! He's like, it's over. I'm like, I know where to go. He goes, oh, my man! My man knows where to go. And then I got him. I walked out. He's like, my man! And then that was it. Went home. We were fucking around. And I had, the condom broke, basically. And, you know, I wasn't that mad about it. Because, like, I got to a certain age where, like, I don't know if I should have kids, but, like, I'm older now. And I had what would be considered a pregnancy scare. But I realized I'm getting older because I wasn't all that scared at all. It was a pregnancy mild concern at the most, I gotta be honest with you. Like, the condom broke, I finished, she looked down, and she was like, holy shit. And I was like, oh my God, the condom broke. It's like, oh my God, we gotta do something. I'm like, holy shit, you're right. What are you thinking on names? Because I like Donald. I don't know. It's a good name. But I had to go back to that same CVS 45 minutes later to get Plan B. Now, there's nothing shittier than going there, and then as I walked in, same guy goes, oh, my man! Back again! Yo, man, what you need this time? I'm like, fucking Plan B. It's like, you acted a damn fool. You ain't even used them condoms, did you? But I'll give it to that dude. He was super pumped to give me Plan B, too. He's like, I'll cook you up, man. Plan B. I'll give you Plan C. Like, what is that? It's weird that I want a kid because, like, I don't know anything about parenting. And the only person I ever got anything about parenting from was my mom. My mom was a single mom, and she raised not only me, but 3 other fucking stupid kids. And my mom worked 3rd shift at a geriatric home for most of my life. She was one of the hardest working, smartest women I've ever met in my entire life. But there were days where she was just not having anything anymore. There would be times I would come home from school and, you know, she worked 3rd shift at a geriatric home, and I could only imagine that she just saw just an avalanche of the worst genitalia every day of her life working there. I would come home from school like, Mom, what's for dinner? She's just like, cocks. Gray cocks. Like, are we boiling them or what? I don't know, you cutting them up in macaroni? I don't know. But my mom wasn't like the best at parenting because she had like so much shit to deal with. And I remember when I was 7 years old, I was convinced that my room was haunted. Like I was convinced there was a ghost in there. and I would tell. Jesus. Fuck yeah for you for having fears at 6. Fuck yeah, human condition. I'm with you. But I was convinced there was a ghost there. And I remember telling my mom that I didn't want to go to bed one night. I was like, Mom, I don't want to go to bed. There's a ghost in my room. My room's haunted. And then my mom, in her infinite wisdom of parenting, she was like so straightforward and very rational with her parenting. And she would go, Ryan, look. Ryan, I don't know if ghosts exist, but you have bigger things to fear. Ryan, ghosts may or may not exist, but Ryan, you could go to sleep tonight and wake up paralyzed from the waist down. And I'm 6. And now I have to think about that. So now not only, and she also didn't disprove ghosts at all. She said, she just said they may or may not exist. So now, not only at 6 years old am I terrified of ghosts, I am now completely terrified of the natural act of sleep, which is fucking crazy. And it's like, I just imagine me laying in bed, like wide awake, staring at the ceiling, and then the ghost is like, "Woo, Ryan, are you still awake?" And I'm like, yeah, I am actually, because my mom said if I go to sleep, I could wake up paralyzed from the waist down. And the ghost is all like, whoa, that's fucked up. Oh my God. Do you need me to stay in here? Holy fuck. Holy shit. Just stifling a ghost completely. Yeah, man. My mom she is great, but she's also like, the holidays are coming up. I started hating Christmas at a very early age, and the reason is because my mom is probably the worst at giving gifts. And the reason, what makes her the worst, is not like she'll just give you something, you're like, oh, I didn't expect it. You're just like, she'll go out of her way to ask you specifically what you want. She'll be like, Ryan, you need to give me ideas for Santa Claus. I need to know. What do you want for Christmas? And you're like, I don't know. Like, no, Ryan, you tell me what you want. And I'm like, I don't know. I saw a Flyers shirt that looks cool. And she goes, oh, okay. We'll see what Santa brings. We'll see what Santa brings. Santa isn't bringing shit. Fuck that. Because what my mom does is she takes what you told her, and then she gets you something based off of what she told you that she thinks you might like that's kind of loosely related. So on Christmas Day, she's like, here you go. Let's see what Santa brought. And you're like, all right, let's fucking open this up. And you're looking at it and she goes, okay, Ryan, I know how you said you wanted a Flyers shirt, but I got you a Dallas Cowboys thermos. Because both sports, right? Right? Like, I couldn't do that ever. Like, my nephew is fucking, like, back when this all happened, my nephew was fucking, like, 11, and he was super into Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, all right, Jesus. He would be like, I'd be like, Jake, what do you want for Christmas? He's like, I want Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm like, all right, we'll see what Santa brings. We'll see what Santa brings. And then on Christmas Day, he opens up, and I'm like, all right, Jacob, I know how you said you wanted Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I got you a subscription to Hustler magazine. Because you know, both paper. I'm Ryan Shaner. Thank you so much. Max Capacity.